Hello, it's me, Eric P. I'm just going to give you a quick video today. This one's about something that happened about I don't know, about a month ago now. It was just a friend of mine who said he wanted to come over and had a bit of a holiday. He said he wanted to come over for a week. So I said, yeah, no problem. You come over and I'll put you up. He said, well, I've started seeing somebody and I've got like, my girlfriend wants to come. He said, is that all right? I said, yeah, no problem. You want to bring her over, you just bring her over and we'll, show the sights and stuff and all that. So he said, oh, that's great. He said, right, I'll see you in a week or so. He said, I'll phone you when I'm on my way. So anyway, he arrived at the airport and he gave me a phone call. He said, right, he says, I've arrived at the airport. He said, I'm going to drive over to you now. I said, so you've hired a car then? He said, yeah. He said, I've hired one. I said, what sort of car did you get? He said, oh, I got a big Cadillac. I said, a Cadillac? I said, that'll use a lot of fuel, that. I said, you don't really need a big Cadillac. What's wrong with just like, a little run round, little Civic, something like that? He said, no. He said, it's got to be quite a big car. I thought, well, all right then, yeah. I said, right, well, I'll see you when you get here. So you just drive round. I said, you've got the address, haven't you? He said, yeah, I've got the address. He said, I should be there in an hour or two. I said, right. So I just waited and anyway, later that afternoon, I was looking out the window and this big, huge Cadillac pulled up. I'll show you a quick picture of a Cadillac, just to break up the video a little bit, give you something to see. So here it is. Right, well, that was a little picture there. Anyway, he got out the car and then he went and opened the door on the passenger side. Anyway, his girlfriend got out. It's a bit hard to describe. How shall I say? She looked a little bit like Big Show. Have you ever seen the American wrestler Big Show? She was roughly that kind of size. She had a Mohican haircut. It was bright green. And as I got closer, I could see on her knuckles, she had tattoos on her knuckles. It said love and hate. Yeah. And then she sort of like lifted up her arm to scratch her head, and she had big hairy armpits. Yeah. She had them plaited. They looked like, you remember that film with Bo Derek in, where she had those plaited bead like hairstyle? It was like that. Yeah. She was... let's just say she wasn't really what I'd call a looker. So I just kind of looked at my friend and he just kind of nervously looked back at me and we just carried on from there, really. Anyway, a couple of days later, we went down to the beach and she was wearing like a G-string and she was walking towards the sea. It looked like a tow rope off a truck, truck tow rope. Yeah, it wasn't very nice. And then she took her top off. She had like a hairy chest and a medallion, and not a lot else really. I think the couple of people that were sat having lagers next to me, I think they threw up. Yeah, she was a bit scary. Yeah. Anyway, she walked over to the sea, and once she was out of like earshot, I thought, right, well, she can't hear me now. So I said to my mate, I said, how the bloody hell did you end up with her? I mean, I don't like being insulting, but bloody hell. I mean, look. He just sort of shook his head. He said, look, he said, I'd been on a night out. He said, I'd had way too much to drink. And then she kind of asked me out, really. And I was just too afraid to say no. I mean, you've seen her. I thought, no wonder he was scared. I mean, she was a bit of a unit. I'd have hate to have tried saying no to her. He said, yeah, she terrifies me. I did think about breaking up with her. I said, I said, maybe we should take a break. And she said, well, how about I break your bloody legs? He said, well, all right, then we'll just carry on going out together. Yeah. So he's just a bit frightened of her, really, to be honest. She was scary. She really was. I mean, she had a voice a little bit like, it was a bit like, she was Welsh, so her voice was a little bit like Tom Jones, only deeper. I'd say more like Barry White. She had like Barry White's voice. yeah. Anyway, we went out to a bar later on. And my friend had a few to drink, and he accidentally bumped into this huge guy at the bar. This guy had a white T-shirt on, you know, beard gut hanging down, bald head. He looked proper thug. And my mate knocked his pint out of his hand. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." The bloke said, "Well, sorry's not good enough." He said, "I'm going to rip your bloody head clean off." Anyway, my mate's girlfriend got up from the table and she went over to this bloke and she leaned down and tapped him on the head and she said, "Oi, leave it." She said it with a deeper voice than that, but anyway, this bloke just looked at her absolutely terrified, and he just sat back down and looked the other way. He was really frightened, the bloke. I don't blame him. So yeah. Yeah, she's a bit frightening. Anyway, I think we were walking out later on, you know, on another day, and she was looking at the shop. So she stooped down and looked in the shop window, and she started pointing at this ring, and my friend just looked at me. He had a terrified look on his face. Yeah, I think he's going to end up married to her. I don't think he's got a choice. She's pretty terrifying. Anyway, it was just a quick video today. The main things to discuss what's coming up on the channel. I have got my Henry VIII one coming up, as I keep saying. Apart from that, don't forget to watch all my old shows, like my Beam Me Up Eric and my Eric P show and things like that. If you would go and look at my past episodes, I'd much appreciate it. So yeah, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye.